Hey fish fans, it's Raina, the Halifax Mermaid, and I'm excited to be doing this video for you today on a tool that I genuinely think is gonna change the mermaid industry as soon as people get a little more caught on to it, okay? You can thank me later in the future when this is really widespread, and you can think back to how I was a trendsetter and I figured this out. Actually, I have to say some other mermaids in Hawaii have been using it, and I kind of researched, and that's how I found it. And now I just want to share this with you. Before we get into this video, I want to say that I am working on audio quality and video quality. However, I don't want it to hold me back and prevent me from putting these videos out in a timely manner. So things will be improving incrementally as I go. We used to, in the past, do video set up with a whole huge thing. We made ourselves a little studio. We had a really good camera. We had boom mics and stuff and big lights. And what we found happening was that it was so much freaking work, we weren't putting out videos. I'm trying to get back to basics. This is one of the things that was recommended to me when I got to have one-on-one YouTube mentoring, which was so cool. And they said, don't let your obsession with quality be the thing that holds you back. Obviously you want to put your best foot forward, or in my case, your best fin, but also you don't want it to become such a thing that you're missing out on connecting with your fans. That's why I'm doing the subtitles, the captions, because I know sometimes the audio is not great. Our apartment is situated close to the highway, so often it's picking up the sound of the road, and it's just easier for me to shoot this on my video and edit on CapCut really quickly than it is to do this whole thing with all these multiple files, put it on Vegas Pro, transfer files back and forth from my phone and the camera and the GoPro and everything. My phone can take everything wirelessly, and I can edit everything on my phone quickly. It's not always the same 4K high quality, but at least for videos like this, it's letting me get things out. So there we go. Hopefully I'll be able to keep incrementally getting things better for you, and the quality will come across. Content-wise, let's get this going. Today, we are talking about a problem that many merfolk face. It's trying to film yourself when you don't have any help. So right now, I've got my camera on a selfie stand with a ring light, and that's how I'm doing it. But what about in the water when you're trying to swim? We see a lot of merfolk will just swim with the GoPro, holding the GoPro out in front of them, and then you just kind of have a video of the front of a mer person holding the camera, and you see their arm, or their stick, and you see just the front of them, and sometimes you see the mermaid tail in the back. And then merfolk are trying different things like weighting the cameras underwater, or trying to suction cup it to the side of the pool, which isn't always very reliable. So I have sort of a semi-solution for that, and I'm going to share with you how it works for me. The big disclaimer I want to give before I jump into this, big, huge disclaimer. While I am talking about these things, I am not telling you that you should be swimming all alone by yourself, okay? When I'm talking about filming yourself alone, I am under the presumption that there is some sort of person to keep you safe. So maybe you're doing all these things that I'm suggesting in a pool, and there is a lifeguard present, or you're doing it with a group in the ocean, and it's somebody's job to watch you and make sure you're safe. Often another person can film us, and that's great, and the camera I'm going to talk about is also really good for that too. But many times we're just out with friends and family, or we're out with somebody who doesn't have that kind of experience, or they don't feel comfortable being your safety and using a camera. They would rather just be your safety and watch you and not be afraid that they're going to have to ditch this camera to come get you, right? Some people can multitask that, some people can't. I'm not sure the best practice there in terms of safety. Usually in groups of 3, I think, is what Jules recommended, who came up with the PADI certification. You've got your mer person, you've got your camera person, and you've got your safety person. So ideally, a safety person is being just a safety person and not filming. So when I'm giving you all these instructions and these examples, I'm going to relate it to how I do it personally, but I am under the presumption that you do have somebody keeping an eye out for your safety. That person just, for whatever reason, cannot wrangle a camera for you. This is something I have run into frequently, and one of the big ways this was slowing me down was at the California Mermaid Convention. So I'm surrounded by lots of mermaids, help keep each other safe. I've also got lifeguards at that pool. There's tons of lifeguards watching us. And it's not necessarily expected that you're gonna go swim in the pool and swim parallel with a safety person. Like, it's kind of fine. There's tons of mermaids around. There's also lifeguards and stuff like that. For me, what I used to be able to do is my husband would be in the water with me, shooting me and filming me. But we have a child now, and he is a toddler, and he's very busy. One day, we were able to do that. He had some childcare lined up. The second day, he was not feeling the childcare. He was not letting us leave him with a stranger, which I totally get. I'm not gonna force my kid just so I can get footage. I'm not that kind of a mom, okay? So we had to bail. We couldn't do that. We had Sean take care of him instead, and I hopped in the pool with my new Insta360 camera. All right, let me tell you about the Insta360 camera. And I've actually made some notes because I don't want to mess things up. Another disclaimer, I am not being paid to promote this, but I do have some affiliate codes because I just like the product so much, I applied for affiliate codes. So I have some affiliate codes down in the description. You can also contact me if you're planning on buying any Insta360 products, and I can see if I can get you a code. Sometimes these codes give you a discount, sometimes they give you a freebie accessory, sometimes they give you both. I actually bought my stuff after watching a YouTube video about the camera I wanted and doing a ton of research, and then I used those affiliate codes. I got a discount and I got a free selfie stick. So let's talk about the camera in general before we get into the underwater stuff. This is the Insta360 camera. It is very compact, as you can see, and it has 2 lenses. So if I carefully take off the lens cover, there's a lens on the front, there's a lens on the back. They are actually filming simultaneously so that it can have a 360 view of everything that you're seeing. Anyway, it's filming 360. There is software in the camera that is stitching that footage together to be seamless. So basically, when you're taking this camera out, it's able to look at everything. If you need a reference point for what I'm talking about, think about Google Street View. It has these cameras on top. It's taking a 360 picture. And what that means is when we upload the pictures or video that are in this 360 format, you can literally grab the picture anywhere, move it around so you can see anything in the 360 degrees. It's wild. So for just on land stuff, this is super cool. You can use the settings so that it is just a normal camera. You could literally use it to take footage of yourself. There's a little camera on the back. You can watch yourself talk, blah, blah, blah. There's all kinds of fun settings in there you can mess around with. Or you can do the 360. Now, the neat thing about this 360 camera is it has a special invisible selfie stick. This is the dive case, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But this special selfie stick, when it's attached to the camera has AI software that detects the selfie stick and completely erases it. So if I'm holding it and I keep my hand at somewhat of a natural angle and I've got it extended and I've got the camera out, it's going to film everything 360 and it's going to erase the stick from the footage. So no matter what direction I move this thing in, it's erasing the stick. It does have limitations. It doesn't always figure out the shadow and erase the shadow, but as they continually get better with the AI portion of this software, and I'm not saying AI because I want you to freak out and be like, oh my God, AI, this is gonna steal my images. I'm talking AI like it is programmed to read these specific pixels of this stick and automatically erase it for you. So AI can mean a lot of things, okay? Like your spell check is AI, your autocorrect is AI, so please don't hear that word and freak out. So why I like this so much for mermaids is because of this awesome underwater housing kit. You do need the official kit. There are a lot of knockoffs, but the software that is in this reads the mapping of this housing and erases the housing, stitches the images together, and erases the selfie stick. The camera itself is waterproof down to 10 meters for a certain amount of time, like a lot of devices are. But without the case, it doesn't very seamlessly stitch the imaging together. It also makes hands kind of warped, like it's not reading the hands properly because it does use a bit of AI technology. I'm gonna put the cap back on this because it's super important you don't get any scratches on it. So this is the underwater housing, and you connect it to the selfie stick, and this selfie stick goes out really far. You can fake drone footage with this selfie stick. It's wild. I'm going to show you some examples in a little bit, but it is wild. The case comes with little spots for water absorbent paper to help with anti-fog. So instead of spraying anti-fog all over it, you can actually put these little white strips in here, and that will help absorb some of the moisture inside the camera. And you can use anti-fog on the outside. I actually didn't find fogging a problem at all. It didn't pick it up. Now, I did have an accident where, well, actually, I didn't, Sean did. Sean didn't realize that this was sitting on a towel, and he picked up the towel. It fell. I got a little surface level crack, and it does show on my footage. But the really cool thing, because it's 360 footage, it's very minimal to see, and it's not actually ending up ruining anything because I can grab the footage and move it around, and I just move it so that you don't see the little bubble. At some point, I'm going to replace it because of this little scratch that I have, and these are coming down dramatically in price because they've announced like the latest version of the camera. So I will be able to get one of these really cheap. But I mean, it's really not a deal breaker for me, which I think is really cool. Like, it's really still easy to use, and I can show some examples of what it ends up looking like in video, and you can't even see it, which is really cool. So you do have to make sure that everything is in there nice and tight. But again, if the camera gets wet by accident, it's going to be okay because it is waterproof, and it comes with different carriers to put things in. Totally use them. The trick is learning how to swim so that you're holding this in a way that the AI picks up on the stick and erases the stick. So you can hold it out front, and it is literally going to see everything, not just you, everything, which is really, really cool. Because when you're swimming underwater, maybe some shots you want them to be of you, and other shots you actually want it to be of all the things that you're seeing. Maybe a fish comes by in the background, and this is going to pick it up, which is really cool. If you want to get the full body mer person view, you swim with this next to your side, and you try to keep your hand in a relaxed position. So I like to hold it kind of like this while I'm swimming, the way I'm holding it kind of like this, or just like, I try to avoid going like this directly, because when you go like this directly, it's kind of obvious in the video. But if you can kind of get used to it and find a way to relax, and you literally just hold it next to your side, the further you go out from your body, it is going to see a bit more. And the same thing, if you angle it up or down, if you angle it up, you're going to get more of a perspective of your back. If you angle it under, you're going to be able to see a bit more of a perspective of your belly. I keep it pretty level with me. Sometimes I like to sweep it over my tail for a cool kind of view, which is neat. But I'm really enjoying it, and swimming with it is not very difficult at all. I've been practicing even trying to do flips, and it's really, really cool. So I have a list here of some of the pros of why I like this camera, and I'm gonna actually read the list because I don't wanna miss anything. But basically, it's really affordable, and there's a lot of discounts out there, and they're always doing deals. It's very, very portable, just like a GoPro in that regard, very lightweight. There is a built-in editing app, which I am going to share, and it's super easy to use, and it is full of free tutorials and templates. And not only can you edit right in the app and play around with everything, you can download the tutorials to your phone to watch later. I can literally put some of them in this video because they give you that resource. There's a whole community in this app where it's kind of like its own Instagram, but it's Insta360, and you can put all of your stuff that you're working on there. You can get feedback from people. You can see what other people are doing. When you see something someone does, they can be like, yeah, I use this technique. Here's the tutorial. It's so freaking cool. It's a bit of a learning curve, and it can be a little bit overwhelming because there is so much to it, but I'm really learning it. There's also incentives for sharing stuff on the app. They reward you with gold coins, and when you get enough gold coins, you can put them towards freebies or discounts. Like, hello, of course, I love that. There are quick mode controls so that you don't have to constantly be messing around. You can set up shortcut keys, which is what I do when I'm underwater, so that all I have to do is press one button to start filming, press another button to stop. I don't have to keep going into menu, making sure I'm in the underwater dome mode or whatever. I like to set up the quick keys. They're very intuitive. And there is a screen so that you can see yourself if you feel like you need to. There's just so many tricks and it's so creative. So some of the cons, the AI doesn't work and you see the stick. You will see the stick if you're bent like this, you will see the stick. It has to be totally parallel. Other times you might have perfect footage and for whatever reason it's not stitching it properly. I could take 20 videos and maybe one of them might not be stitched properly. It is an AI technology. It's trying to anticipate where those edges of the video are, so it's not always going to get it right. The phone app is way easier than the PC version of everything, and the PC app can be really limited and trying to do all the editing. So it's a lot easier to do the editing on your phone, but that can also kind of have downfalls because you're literally just dealing with a tiny phone and a screen. I'm going to have a little segment in here where I show you some of the editing. So at this point, I'm going to hop on Sean's phone and video myself on my phone showing you the app. Okay friends, I'm going to show you the Insta360 app. So this is the app, and the cool thing about this app is there's a community. So under the For You tab, you will see all kinds of people's really cool pictures and videos they've taken using the different parts on the camera and using the different modes. You can check out photos specifically, which is pretty cool. They call these planetary ones. They're really fun to make. Somebody did this one of themselves, which is so amazing. They took it themselves. Really cool perspective ones. You can check out who you're following. These are just people I follow. So again, it's very community based. I love these kind of ones. You can come over and check out tutorials, and the tutorials will literally teach you how to do things. And you can choose things based on your camera. So I have chosen the X3. This shows me these are the different lab things I can do where it'll use AI. Again, not stolen AI stuff, predictive stuff to change your video. So this is like sky swap is showing underwater in the sky kind of thing. And we'll turn the volume down so I'm not stealing people's content here. Tiny planets are another really popular one. So this is kind of cool. It makes you a tutorial on how to do it. It's going to show you how to film it and then how to edit it so that you get a tiny planet, which is really cool. And you can download these videos right onto your phone so that you have them, which is cool. Now, if I want to edit things, I'm going to go to my album, and you will wirelessly sync your phone to your camera. I can grab any underwater video I have here, and I am able to quite literally zoom in, zoom out, move this in any direction. You are going to get warping, so if you want things to be kind of on the level, you have to level it up, but sometimes I kind of like the warping effect. So you can see zooming in and out. You will have been watching these, here, Tiny Planet. I like doing the Tiny Planet kind of thing. It's kind of cool. This is so fun. It's really easy. So this is just kind of previewing something. Let's say I want to edit it. Now I can't give you an entire tutorial on how to edit these things. Maybe that'll be a future video, but I am going to show you just something like very quickly. So I'm going to grab a clip here, and it is unraveled 360. So if you think of like an unrolled map, like just rolled out. So I'm actually going to put it into aspect for Instagram
So we've got that. Don't worry about the top and bottom, because what you're going to do is you're going to reframe the view. I like to use the tool in here that they have called, if it's working, keyframes. And so I can move this to start wherever I want. I can start my keyframe there. And let's see where it goes. Okay, it's following me, zooming out. I like this perspective better. I'm gonna set a keyframe there. Now I want it to go behind me and show what's behind me, so I'm gonna let it go ahead a bit. I'm gonna set a keyframe there. Gonna go down the video a little bit more. Gonna zoom in. Keyframe there. And now let's go back to the mermaid. Where's she? Goodness, where's that mermaid? I think she might be right here. There she is. So I can preview this, and it's going to move all around. So it's as if the camera itself is moving. You can kind of see that there's a shadow from the camera. And again, you're looking at this on my phone, so you're not getting the best kind of view of it. I'm just trying to show you how the tool actually works. I can do a video on editing the content if this is something people like, and I will do that for you. But it just gives you so much flexibility and ability to move things around. I've been sharing videos throughout that I've made in this video, but I also have my own account on here. This is connecting to the device. I'm going to turn that off for a second. I'm going to go to me. And when I go to my account, I can see all the different videos and pictures that I have put up here, which is kind of cool. And people can look at my stills, mermaid selfie, playing around. You can save things in a 360 view so that people can actually grab it and move it themselves if they want. So I've done a 360 view of one of my favorite photo shoot spots, and now you can actually see all of this just like Google Maps. And sometimes I just make video that looks like it's straight up video, and it really is just me using it kind of like a drone, flying it around. This is actually Sean holding it, I think. You can see Sean down here in the corner. So yeah, that is my account, and it's Raina Mermaid. So you can follow me, and I hope you will.
Okay, so now that you've seen the app, you kind of have a sense of everything that's available, and I think it's so cool. I think there are a lot of different scenarios where fish can use this. I think taking it in the pool with yourself is really cool, great for review videos. One of my favorite functions is that you can very easily change the format. In the same video that you take, it is 360 degrees. You can pull stills from it. They can be portrait or landscape, whatever you want. You're not limited by the footage. You can edit it, and you can put it into vertical mode if you want, and literally just zoom in and out and grab pieces and pull them around to look whatever way that you want, or you can do it landscape mode. You can try all these different effects if you want, or you don't have to. And the footage, once it's rendered, you can port it into pretty much any editing tool out there. So I like to port it into CapCut sometimes. I love this for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook Reels, and definitely my YouTube Shorts. My YouTube Shorts are really popular using this, and I haven't really gotten to spend some time using it for my long form videos. I have a whole bunch of footage that I'm hoping to put together for you so you can see. I do have a few. There's one on here where I sent Rachel of the dive bar in Sacramento into the tank with it so that she could film it, which was so much fun. So you should definitely check that out. I think that was really fun. And I also have swimming with my kicks, trying to show it. It's not going to be perfect. You are going to be able to tell at times that somebody is holding a camera. But I mean, that's what we already have with GoPros, right? So, I mean, it's not like the illusion has to be absolutely perfect. We do have a sense that people are holding things. But if you check out some of my photos and videos, it's almost spooky how seamless it is. I've had people go, "Hey Sean, great photo." And I'm like, "No, I took that photo. myself. It does really good split above and below video and photo, like so well. I don't use it for picture taking underwater. I just take high res video and pull stills from it. But if you really wanted to get fancy, you can set up the timer on this baby, go for a swim, and have it take some burst photos and have some high quality photos if you want. It's pretty limitless. It's just that you kind of have to invest the time to learn to use it. Straight out of the box, you might find it a bit tricky to get used to. I would recommend that you play around with it. Don't just buy it and go on a trip to Mexico and assume you're going to make all this amazing content. I went for walks with it and just filmed randomly, trying to understand what I was doing. I went for a couple pool swims just to understand what I was doing. Then I was able to get creative. So I am loving this thing. I personally think it is a game changer for the mermaid world. I think it's going to make it so much more accessible for folks. You're not going to have to be limited by like, oh, well, I mean, I can go for a swim at the local pool, but there's nobody there to film me. Like, this is going to be a game changer. And it's really affordable compared to a lot of the other gear out there. It's on par or less than most GoPros, and I'm talking about buying the whole thing, the camera and the housing and the stick. Look for those codes. If my codes aren't good enough for you, get out there and Google and look for more, and you're going to find stuff. You can add me on the Insta360 app if you like. I'm pretty sure I'm HFX Mermaid on there. I'll put a little screenshot up or whatever. You can add me if you want. You're not going to get tons of views on there the way you do on like Instagram or whatever, but it's still like quality views. It's good community and stuff. Anyway, that is my video on the Insta360 camera. I really hope you'll get one for yourself, or maybe if you know somebody who will let you borrow it. Mine is the X3 version, which is the first version to work with the underwater housing. They have released newer versions. They have other versions that are kind of like meant for streamers and stuff like that, all kinds of stuff. This is the one that I find is the best bang for your buck for mermaids. I wouldn't necessarily say that you need to jump to the newest model because I don't think they have an underwater housing for it yet. And this is just great. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? But anyway, check it out. Check out some of my footage. Go take a peek at some of my shorts. They have some of the really cool 360 video. I've also put in a few Instagram reels up that have like a bit of narrative explaining how I'm doing what I've done. And I plan to make more of these videos over the winter. As a final thank you, I would love to ask you to please like and subscribe. At the time of recording this video, I'm almost at 700,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing. But my long-form videos do not get as many views, and they do not get a lot of interaction. It's really important to me as a creator to keep making these, even if they don't pay the bills. I still think it's really important. It's a great snapshot of our mermaid community, and I'm hoping that it provides you with resources. So if you found this helpful, please, 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 please comment. It means the world to me. Like and subscribe if you have a YouTube account. You should only click that bell if you want to get notified of all my posts and videos. If you find that too much in your email, don't click the bell. Just periodically check in. You can join my Facebook group, Raina the Mermaid Sea Fans. You can follow me on social media. I'm HFX Mermaid on pretty much everything, and if you can't find me under that, I'm Raina Mermaid. My Mertailor code is only going to work until Halloween 2024. If you're watching this video past that, I apologize, you've missed the window. But right now, you do have a time in the present between September and October 2024 where you can use my code RAINA10, all caps, and you can get that awesome discount code on most fabric items. Just can't combine it with other discounts. Best fishes, and thanks for watching.